Hello and welcome back. My name is Milan. What I do is I'm a Superhost ambassador and I help new hosts on Airbnb set up their listing. I'm going to review a listing of a man called William Andreasson. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. And I have his approval to, of course, review his listing as a Superhost ambassador, someone who has been doing this for a long time, and someone who wishes for this young man to improve his Airbnb listing in the best way possible. Now let's go straight into it. I'm currently on the ambassador dashboard. If you're a host on Airbnb and you have been doing this for around 5, maybe even less, fewer years, then you will be invited to a Superhost ambassador program. Details you can find in the link of this description. And what that essentially means is that you will actually have the honor and the opportunity to help other new hosts as they join the platform. So what this means is what I'm going to be doing today is, since I've already given William practical tips and tricks, I'm going to also create a video on how to help William optimize his listing in the best way possible. William, I might be a bit strict, so forgive me for that one. Now I'm on my dashboard. I can see William here. I have access to his listing. Of course, viewing his listing, and he needs to give me approval if I want to make any changes. But since William has already gotten his first booking, there is no need to do that, as William is preparing for check-in, as you can see here. I'm going to do this now, and I'm going to go to his listing, which I've opened here. We can see family-friendly chalet in Sälen. This is originally in Swedish. I believe this is translated because the default of my Airbnb is English. So I'm certain that this is translated either automatically or that William was very clever to translate that automatically, because there are options in which you can offer several language options for your listing by translating manually all of the content of your listing and putting it and uploading it. What I can see first is really nice and decent. I'm viewing this as a guest. What I can tell you, William, is that this is a very dark walled cabin, if I may call it like that. And what I mean by this is it clearly has dark walls. And I'm gonna click on the first image and open it. And there's nothing wrong with the image, don't get me wrong. But when you see it like this, it looks dark. The corners look dark, and this is absolutely natural when you have an environment that doesn't have much natural lighting. This is nothing that is wrong with the listing or the image. It is simply that if you utilize more natural lighting or have halogenous, I think that's the word in English, the white light bulbs that are usually used in studios, you can illuminate the space a bit more. And that is the only thing I would add, because with this image, it doesn't lack anything, but what I like to add to it is details. Like there is this basket here, and maybe zoom in on that. Why is it that next to the bedroom and the bed? What is the significance of that? And there is the door here that might confuse the person as to what is behind the door. So the person would normally want an entire view of the bedroom and several angles of the bedroom, which we will see in the next image if they have been provided. They haven't. So for example, what would also be desirable is usually here where my cursor is, there is a description of the image and there is a short text about what the image contains. The purpose of this is to actually, one, show the guest, the potential guest, what he or she is viewing, and two, to kind of stifle up their imagination, to stimulate their imagination and the desire to book this, because by looking at your listing, they are going to imagine themselves being there. And it is up to you as a host to create that cozy feeling of what they actually want to experience. So the only addition I have to this is maybe some more natural lighting or studio artificial lighting, and thus more light overall in the apartment, in this particular bedroom. And if there is something like this basket here, then it would be nice to explain what that is. I always like the reference of the Chekhovian gun. And the Chekhovian gun is a writing reference, which means if you mention a gun in the novel and that gun is not fired, then there is no purpose to mentioning that gun. And I completely agree with that. So maybe just give guests a description of what is offered and contained in the bedroom, because they want and love details. Moving to the next image. This is clearly a living room from what I can see. The irony of this picture, and it's a beautiful picture, is that it's vertical instead of horizontal, and it doesn't show the space close enough. It is a nice image overall, and it of course needs more lighting because artificial lighting also kind of impacts the image when you take a picture in natural lighting. So it is a nice image, but you can still see how dark it is. And this is no problem or fault of the host or any other external factor. It is simply how it is when you have dark walls in the house. So when you, as a host or a future host on Airbnb, take any of these pictures, have in mind to set up maybe lighter walls, or to have more natural lighting, or to take pictures in such a way that it will reduce the negative impact of dark or darker surfaces or backgrounds in the picture. What this particular picture might need is a closer view of the table, because you want to create the sensation of guests actually imagining themselves sitting there. So there is, once again, nothing wrong with this picture. It is simply when I look at this and I imagine myself to be a guest that wants to book this, what I want to do is I want to imagine myself being here and what I can do with this space and what I can experience in this space, which is very difficult to see when all this space is so available. What is good to do in this particular instance is to focus more on the particularities and the details, and then maybe give a broader image of what is going on, because that works better on the human imagination. This is clearly a kitchen, which is a beautiful kitchen, and as you can see, the difference in lighting here is obvious because you have a lot of natural lighting here, and there is this shadow here that can always be resolved and fixed. And the beauty of professional Airbnb photography is that it utilizes this kind of lighting and space and provides a perspective. And it's kind of, when you move the camera and when you place it a certain way, it really allows for the potential guests to see what they're experiencing and what they are getting. This is a really nice photograph, and it is very nicely done. Same as the picture number 1 and the bedroom number 1, and it's a beautiful cradle here, by the way, so that's a beautiful touch. There is always something nice like this that can say it's welcoming to a family, but also make sure that it's something that can be, again, in the description here, to say that it can be taken out, maybe it doesn't belong there, it's there when needed, not necessarily when the guests are there, because if you have guests that do not have a child, then that might just take up extra space. So it is a beautiful picture. You can see much more natural lighting here, and you just might want to take the picture from the other end of the room, so either where the cradle is or where the lights are, the candles are, because you need to provide the guests with several views of the bedroom, because you need to understand that the guests are not there yet. They only see what you show them. And if you show them something good, they will be inclined and invited to book it. Beautiful picture nonetheless. This is, I assume, a bathtub. It looks like a bathtub. And once again, you can see the effect of artificial lighting here, and nothing wrong with that. It is simply that providing a more crispy, textury image of the bathtub would be very, very preferred. And I'm going to say something very funny, which might be not a popular opinion, but if you have people using this bathtub and someone who, like for example, a beautiful woman or a handsome man who wants to be a part of this and be taken a picture of in, of course, decent way, that is not overexposing and just shows to the person how they would feel and experience bathing in this tub. Because don't forget, when you do business, what you offer people is experience in form of service. So when they see this kind of bathtub, it is beautiful. And it's also, try to imagine how it would look like if you would have someone there and you can visualize them. Beautiful picture nonetheless. And if this is all there is of the toilet, you kind of need more. You need to show people what the entire restroom is and how for them to imagine how it would be being there. And if you're watching this, I offer free Airbnb photography, and you can hit me up privately if you want, and we can of course always discuss business, because I'm more than willing to help Airbnb hosts who have a lot of potential, and your cabin definitely has a lot of potential, my friend. We're moving on. A very nice night picture. I think this has a really nice touch to it. It is not marketable in the sense of attracting views, but it's more personal, and I like that. I really like that. This, I think, is the kitchen with the kitchen aisle, a beautiful big kitchen. And again, if the picture would have been taken from a bit higher perspective, many other things would have been more visible, such as what is on the island and how everything is seen, because this would have been perfect if you had normal daily light. Since you have artificial light, it's a bit different. It's not as easy to make this happen, to experience and to show the people what they're actually getting. This is a beautiful picture. Now, this is something that is completely different. What's happening here is you have a live flame fire in a beautiful glass fireplace, and you can see something that's more alive. Because when I see this, I can instantly feel warmth, and I can feel wanting to be here, because there is a beautiful bucket here meant for the wood, and there is a beautiful fireplace that is made. I have never seen a fireplace like this except in movies, and I think this is a beautiful addition to your cabin, and you should capitalize on this as much as you can. I think this is one of the strongholds and one of the main knots of your apartment. We will then be moving on to the next image. Fantastic job once more. There is, of course, working with light and photography is art in and of itself, and that is something that comes with time and experience. Wonderful work so far. Of course, board games. This is in Sweden, for anyone who doesn't know, so it is no wonder that you offer people board games. The only suggestion is that they are put somewhere where they are seen, or there are people playing them, because don't forget, you're offering people service and experience, but primarily experience. Now we see a picture of the bathroom. So now there is a more spacey or spacious image of the bathroom. So please have in mind, as hosts, it is imperative that we keep pictures together, that if we show the bathroom, we show the bathroom, and if we show the living room, we show the living room. Unless you have plenty of images, like I do, for example, on my listings, where I have approximately 40 pictures per listing, and then the first few photos are there to capture the viewer, the potential guest, and get their attention and see, oh wow, this is a beautiful house. And then as they go through the photos, they will see, this is the kitchen, and here are the pictures of the kitchen. This is the toilet, the restroom. These are the pictures of the restroom. Again, fantastic picture and a fantastic bathroom. This, I would assume, is the living room, which from what I can see is right next to the kitchen here. This is a really nice and well lit picture, and you can see the difference in quality when you compare it to other pictures, and it's a really nice picture taken in broad daylight. You might want to change and adjust the perspective of how you take it, and again, it's beautiful as it is. We can always do better. Photography is art. Beautiful picture, really nice. I guess this is the dining space, which is included in the kitchen, and this again, when shown with the kitchen and in the kitchen section, it gives people a lot more, it expands their imagination. And again, when you take a picture of the kitchen, make sure it's one picture that speaks and tells 1,000 words. So you take one picture, and that picture, amongst the first several pictures of your listing, is sufficient for the guest to say, wow, this is a nice kitchen. So that one picture needs to capture as much as it can. This is a very nice picture. Moving on. Another picture of the kitchen. Very nice. And this is it. This is the type of photography that is required to capture the guest's attention. And if I were you, my friend, I would put this picture amongst the first pictures. Because when people see something like this, they will be invited to really look at the details, to really, even enlarge the picture and see what it's not. I would remove this ladder, for example, but that doesn't change the nature of the beauty of this photo, because you also have natural lighting coming in, and a lot of it clearly, and you can see how spacious it is, and it's captured very beautifully. Really good job, and please put this amongst your first pictures. And once again, there is this picture, and now we can clearly see. This is the beauty of this. We learn as we go. Now we can see where the fireplace is, because the guests do not want to waste energy figuring out where things are. That is why it's important for you to provide them with pictures so that they can see what they are getting, what they are renting, how that looks, and to get them to really imagine themselves being there. This picture speaks for itself. This is the living room, this is the couch, these are the sofas, and this is the fireplace. Well done. 15 pictures, all right. I would personally suggest more because you have so much potential for that. And again, if you want free photography, please let me know. I will put the links below if you want to book me. So now we will go back to the family-friendly chalet in Sälen. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing the name right. Entire home that is hosted by William. 10 guests, 4 bedrooms, 6 beds, and 3 bathrooms. Beautiful. So the first thing that I would like to note with this home is that it is an entire home. And what I would suggest to William is that sometimes, William, you might not have 10 guests interested. This can be a good thing and a bad thing, because you can, if you have 4 bedrooms, you can also consider creating 4 separate listings and rent those 4 bedrooms separately. Because if I remember correctly, I've only seen pictures of 2 bedrooms. So if you have 4 bedrooms, it would be of course logical and reasonable to put all the bedrooms so that people can see what they're booking. And again, if you need help with that, let me know, because I do property management and I gladly help new hosts establish themselves and teach them tricks such as these. Dedicated workspace, a private room with Wi-Fi, beautiful. Self-check-in, that guests love that. Good job. Bring your pets along for the stay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Basic info. Let's see. Quite solid, very nicely explained. Beautiful. Large sauna. William, if there is a sauna, people would really love to see that, because everything that is offered in the service of Airbnb renting and property renting is something that you do as a business of your own. So imagine yourself as a businessman, and this is something that is your baby, it's your passion. So if you offer a sauna, then make sure you have good pictures of that. And for that, you can hit me up. 2 bathrooms with 1 shower and 1 bathtub. Pictures, please. Family friendly with all the necessities for a family. Clearly. And it will be nice when you have these necessities. You can also, if you mention them, just add in brackets what they are. A cradle for the child, here, this and that. And you need to kind of niche down what you want your target audience to be. Would you like to have more family-oriented listing? Would you want more younger people to book your listing? Because you adapt your listing towards your particular needs. If you are a family man and you want and love to have families, then that should be made really clear. And not just from the description, but here. You did it very nicely. You said family friendly. And at the same time, make sure that it is adapted to families by offering as much as options in details, in images, in experiences. Maybe offer a video, a link to a video somewhere, just to show people what the space is about. You are the boss and you're in charge of your own listing, and you are the face of your listing. So if you, for example, welcome families, it will be perfectly nice if you can, if you're a family man yourself, to show, I'm a family man, this is my family, and this is why I love hanging out with other families. To make that clear, because this is much more than a business, this is you. And if you are a well-suited, well-tailored family guy, I'm sure you will attract people that are just like you. The space, very, very beautifully explained. Beautiful. You have a coffee machine, an espresso machine, fantastic. Breakfast nook. Beautiful. The kitchen is large. That is an enormous plus, my friend. William, that is a beautiful, beautiful amenity to have. Large sofa and 2 armchairs. Game nights. Oh yeah. Family. A television with a streaming channel. Absolutely. Absolutely. I personally do not know what a Sonos is. I'm not very tech savvy, but if you want to explain to people what Sonos is, that would be really nice, because if I'm a guest and I don't know what a Sonos is, then I need to go and look it up. So don't forget that it's your job to make other people's lives as easy as possible. And I know this might take a little work, but it's worth it. So Sonos, in brackets, what Sonos is, or the link to it. The bedrooms are spacious, yes they are. Beautiful. Wonderful description, wonderful description. Where you will sleep: bedroom 1, 1 double bed, 1 single bed, 1 cot, double bed, single bed, and 1 double bed, and 1 double bed. So again, for all these 4 bedrooms, please provide pictures so that people can see what they are booking exactly, so they don't have to ask you extra questions. What is this and what is that? If you prepare this in advance and you offer this to the guests like this, they won't even have to bother, because they can already see it's easy. All they need to do is book and come to you. Everything is ready, everything looks spacious and beautiful. You offer the perfect pictures and they can just relax and be. That's what guests want. And beautiful, you have so many amenities, and it is fantastic. I see that you are booked for December, which is a beautiful, beautiful news. Fantastic news, actually. January, February, beautiful. I can see you're doing really well, and I'm very happy for you. So you should just keep going and keep doing this. And good luck, my friend. Really, good luck. I hope this review helped William, and I hope that this review helped other potential Airbnb guests or hosts who want to start their own Airbnb businesses. And if you are interested in booking or hosting an Airbnb, you can do that by registering on Airbnb as a host, following the link below. And if not, thank you for watching this video, and thank you, William, for wanting me to give you this feedback. And don't forget, you can always contact me and reach out if you need some advice, if you need co-hosting services, or if you need free photography. I will happily offer that for you. Also, if you want an interview, if you want to reach out to a wider audience, that is what my channel is meant for. It is to help hosts. So please reach out if you want to do that. And in the end, I want to thank everyone who have watched this and supported this channel thus far. Stay on your course, be good hosts. One day you might be even super hosts. One day you might be working for Airbnb in your communities, helping other people become hosts as I am. At any rate, thank you. Enjoy your experience, whether you're a host or a guest, and have a good one. Bye.